We are back inside Wisconsin. Trevor Thomas, the John Anderson, and the Wes Hodkiewicz from Packers.com. I just say the John Anderson because I think Wes wanted to be John, right? And this is kind of neat how it all came together. Anyway,
I think of the Ohio State University. That's the only place proper to use, and I don't even like those bastards.
Me neither. A couple for me, and then it's lightning round with the John Anderson. Wes, are you a Packers owner like myself and John Anderson?
I'm not, but I did buy it for my parents this year. That was a big thing. My parents are both Green Bay people, outside area of Green Bay. And they did the stocks again. And that was a big thing for Christmas for me, as I wanted to make them Packers owners finally. They've done so much for me, and this organization has meant so much to my dad specifically that was a big thing for me. So yeah, I'm not, but I did fork over the money to get it for my parents, though.
At premium rate, I'm sure. No internal.
No discounts. Yeah, no, yeah. I paid the full amount.
No free shout outs, no discounts.
So John reminds me every once in a while that we're co-hosting because we'll talk to guys like you or Barry Alvarez's or Matt Kenseth's, and I just get lost in the fact that I'm sitting here talking with guys like you.
Not
do you
me.
ever get lost?
Matt Kenseth, maybe, but not me.
Yeah, no, I've known you a little longer than I've known Matt Kenseth. That's fair. Wes, do you ever get lost? Do you ever sit there and watch these games from Lambeau Field and go, holy crap, like, what am I doing?
Yeah, I mean, it happened more like after games, like when we used to travel. Like, so here's the deal. COVID's happening. The Packers were very gracious. I can go and commercially travel to games if I want, but I'm not allowed on the team charter due to the number of restrictions. But when I always used to go and cover road games, a lot of times we all sort of work our way down to the locker room when guys are coming off the field. And when you see players, you see Aaron Rodgers, you're talking about those candid moments kind of behind the scenes. Those are the moments where it kind of hits you like, this has been something that's been broadcast into 25 million homes or 24 million homes, especially during the playoffs. And we're watching these guys go back into their normal lives now. The game's over, and now they're transitioning to ready to get and go home like anyone else getting done with their job. So that is probably the thing that hits me the most, is when you see stuff behind the scenes that's not on the national cameras, that's not talked about in the features, just guys just being themselves. And I've been fortunate enough now for, last 10 years to cover Aaron Rodgers' career. I mean, I don't know what's going to come after the Aaron Rodgers era ends. But I'll tell you this, I don't know if I'm going to cover another quarterback quite like that, at least from a talent standpoint. The guy's maybe the best that's ever done it from a pure total package aspect, with the athleticism, the brain, the talent, the accuracy. He's second to none. So that's the part I think that never gets lost on me, is just that you are witnessing history and you are being given a front row seat to just seeing all these things unfold and being able to document it and do your best to remember those moments. And the fact that a lot of those moments have been galvanizing for me. I remember the good and the bad for the Packers organization, whether it was the 2014 NFC Championship game in Seattle, being at CenturyLink, thinking that I'm getting ready to go cover a Super Bowl, or, the 2013 regular season finale where Aaron Rodgers just pulls a rabbit out of his hat and John Kuhn blocks Julius Peppers at the exact right moment to be able to find Randall Cobb for a touchdown. Those moments, the things that make fans go just scream, that's the fun part of this, because you never know what's going to happen any given Sunday.
We talked about this a little bit in the last segment. This is my last one. You grew up here. John grew up here. I grew up here. We get Wisconsin. There is not a place like Wisconsin in regards to Packers fans and sports fans. Do you feel the pressure of bringing it to life for Wisconsin? Because it's just different here. Wes, how do you view this idea of statriotism covering the Packers for Packers.com? It's
cool because talking about Domofsky a little bit, him and I have discussed this too. We get metrics, we get all the numbers on what our site does compared to the rest of the NFL. I know Rob gets the same numbers for what his stories will do on ESPN.com. The Packers, despite the fact that it's 100,000 people in the Green Bay area specifically, still outperform basically everyone in the NFL. I think we're number 2 behind Dallas. I think maybe Rob's number 2 behind maybe New England. I'll probably get that wrong. But the amount of people in the eyeballs and the fact that they care. There's a lot of team websites out there. People don't care. They could write the best feature ever. They could write the biggest news story ever. They could do whatever they want on that website to try to get engagement, get viewers, get fans. Ain't going to happen. Green Bay, that's the one thing I've tried to always, when you talk about the humility side of it, is there's always going to be an insatiable desire for the content. When I got promoted to Packers in 2012, I had 900 Twitter followers. Now I think it's like somewhere around 50 or something. 50,000. I'm sorry. It didn't go down. It didn't go down 850. It actually went up. But it's like that's not me, right? That's the Packers, and understanding that that's what people want. They want to be able to track that content. They want to be able. They care how David Bakhtiari is doing with his knee injury. They want to know what's going on with Jair Alexander, Zadarius Smith every single day. They don't just care about who the quarterback is. They care about the punter, and that is fun. That is cool because it isn't always like that in every media market. It's neat to be a part of that.
That's cool.
Yeah, insatiable is the right word. And you just got to feed the monster, and no detail is too small. I tell people all the time around here. Good guy, one of our researchers, just an example, and Jason, the Dolphins. He's a Dolphin fan, grew up in Miami, and they just fired their. So he had news going on. But those people really have an offseason. I tell them, you realize if you live in Green Bay and you don't leave with the Packers on July 7th, people are going to flip the channel to see who's got Packer news, even if it's July 7th. And you're like, but there's not an OTA, there's not a mini camp, the draft's over, but we still need to know something.
Yes.
So in that regard, it's crazy. Before I got a couple other follow-ups, because I'm Mr. Note Taker, as I like it, because it's crazy. First off, when you said the good and the bad, you're how old? You're 30. You've never seen bad. So you can just, I don't know that you've ever seen bad.
I got into a fight not a fight, but I got into a discussion with somebody about this on Twitter, though. Not seen bad with the Packers. But I did joke with somebody. I was at Jeffrey Hammond's bobblehead day after Jeffrey Hammond's had already been cut from the Brewers. I've seen some of those. But you're right. In terms of the Green Bay Packers, the fact that you go 30 years with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, I don't remember anything different.
Right. And then you talked about the things you see behind the deal that you – so I'm just telling you, if Cliff Crystal's book is 1,000 pages, the things he knows, that would be 2,000 pages that he doesn't tell. And you've got some of that, I'm sure, and that's part of the business. There are things that aren't really newsworthy for other people. But the stuff compared to the stuff you say, that book sometimes is a lot thicker.
It is, yeah, and that's just the way it goes. I mean, that's when you ask anybody, and I mean, I'm not saying I know where all the bodies are buried or anything like that, but sure. It is interesting, and that's journalism, because there's also it is what you know, and it's also what you can put names and attribution behind too. So, but I also think it's important to know where that line is. I think one of the reasons we've seen a lot of people get in trouble here is, sometimes blurring that and not understanding the full story and then trying to act like you do.
Give me the first Packer game you ever went to.
The Yancey Pigpen game. Not even joking. Against the Steelers. That's the first game I've ever been to.
Good. You and I were both there.
Were we really?
Yeah, we were both there. Even though I was living in Arizona, we were both there. Give me the best UWGB hoops player ever.
Well, I mean, Tony Bennett, right? But hey, Kiefer Sykes. Shout out to Kiefer Sykes. He's currently playing for the Pacers, finishing out the season with them. That's awesome.
We're getting hit. He'll be on in no time.
He's a good one.
Got him. Yeah. You boast. I'm going to say it. Boast that you were on the dean's list at UWG 7 out of 8 semesters. What happened to that other semester? What were we taking? What was the problem?
I did some computer science that semester, John, and that was a mistake.
53-man roster right now. Give me the guy that I would want as a groomsman.
I would go with Robert Tonyan.
Because?
Well, one, he's a gentleman. But two, he has such a good wry sense of humor. And I think people have gotten a feel for that a little bit more. Now, unfortunately, Robert tore his ACL this year. But last year, I thought you saw his personality come up more, especially with some of the stuff he's doing with George Kittle. I don't know if you caught some of the videos he's done with him. A really nice dude, but also a guy that I think is a pretty fun personality as well.
Good. At any point this year, have you gone up to Aaron and just gone, what the hell?
I'm not.
Okay. Are you closer to Kroll's East or Kroll's West?
Kroll's West.
Okay, good.
The Krolls, by the way.
Pardon me?
The Krolls. Kroll's West is the Krolls. Like
Kroll's,
the Ohio State.
You're right. Kroll's East is the original Krolls. That is correct. It's on the other side of town. Bruce Arians says it's a travesty if Tom Brady doesn't win the MVP. If Tom Brady wins the MVP, you say that's what?
Can I say? Sure. Am I allowed to say?
Yeah, this is like cable.
No, I think it would be. I don't think the way he played down the stretch. My fantasy team can speak to this. The way he played down the stretch does not merit an MVP. I would also probably add that I don't know if I necessarily would take anything that Bruce Arians says at face value.
This is a standard one. Name 2 players better for the Badgers than Joe Thomas.
Oh my goodness.
Exactly. Can't be done. We'll move on.
Snuck.
And this is the last one. Next time you draft somebody from Missouri, go into the war room, whoever you got to see, tell Goody, call Anderson first.
Okay.
Who told them that Jamon Moore could catch?
Would you have been able to call that if they would have had you on the bat phone? You would have told them, it's not a great idea.
He gets drafted in the 4th round, and the first thing all my buddies do are like, did they ever see this guy play? Why have they drafted him? He can't catch. And I'm like, it's going to take about 3 days before Aaron Rodgers goes, I'm not throwing to that guy again.
Really nice guy. Very self-aware.
Super nice guy.
Unfortunately, it didn't work out for Jamon. They got MVS, though. That helped.
Super guy. And he'll make a spectacular catch, but he'll drop the ones that you toss underhanded with a Nerf ball that you throw you. Anyway, and even if West is good, just remember the Crow's East was the first one.
Okay.
Nice.
I've been to Crow's East too. Crow's East does a fine job. But yes, I'm more towards the West. That is the one that I typically will refer to as
that was the
Crow's.
question. That's it. Perfect. You're right in line. There are no wrong answers here. Well, on occasion there are. Like if you try to name more better than Joe Thomas, but that's a running joke on them.
I can't wait to talk to.
Whoever thinks Joe Thomas, would you have him like 98th on your list of great Badgers?
Is that true?
Five.
Who was ahead of him?
4
the guy's a Hall of Famer.
ahead of him. Yeah, got it. Wes, hey, good to see you, bud.
Hey, it was
Glad
fun.
you're here. Wes Hodkiewicz, Packers.com. Buddy, I want to see you with a little bling next time we talk to you. Let's go get a ring, huh?
I can remove this one and move it over and then do a different one there.
Caitlin might get upset by that, but
that's fantastic. Hey, we're gonna be watching, and I'll be getting in the Packer feeds and just be listening for Aaron. What the hell? Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
see you, Wes.
See ya.
Shut up and sit down.